Intellectual street YouTuber that's either in you or it's on you, no in between. Cash Rules Global TV, $sign for the F. What we on, Global Gang? What's the deal? Cash Rules Global TV, tapping in. Back at it again. Just open up them trap doors, get ready to whip this content, push it out, and get it going. You heard? Man, if you happen to be new to the channel, go ahead and bang that subscribe button. Spam up that like button next, and we finna get right into these YouTube streets. Now, this came highly requested. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. We can keep it right here up north, Oakland, California, West Oakland. You hear me? No other than M.A. McBlast, Gas Team. You feel me? Somebody that changed the infrastructure of the streets forever, and it still got an effect on it to this day. Globes in the chat. Let's get to it.
Here has tonight's top story at 5:30.
And you've justified now wholesale kicking down doors, coming in with tanks. You're holding any community hostage. The Oakland Police Department are going to fight for those who can't fight for themselves.
One police raid, two very different points of view. Community activists are now speaking out about their concerns regarding the Oakland.
So one thing I can say, the black community prefers to police themselves. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. We don't want niggas coming in our community.
Police operation in this community where over 50 alleged gang members were arrested. A press conference was held here on the corner of 8th and Adeline.
I stand before you as the individual who ran Operation Nutcracker.
OPD was there and tried to explain what happened from their perspective.
Police officers who put their lives in danger going to arrest some of the most notorious individuals. I've been here 17 years, and I would go on record and say this is the most notorious group of individuals that I've seen in my police career.
But community leaders say they hear otherwise.
Residents here, according to what we were told, were frightened to death, not by the young men, but by law enforcement.
But has crime decreased in this area since the raid?
As I stated before, we had 37 homicides in the last year and a half attributed directly to this group.
Since Operation Nutcracker, how many homicides in the area?
You hear that? You're gonna continue to hear that. Operation Nutcracker. This time things were being terrorized in these streets.
Another issue for protesters are these words spoken by the Attorney General at a press conference following the raid.
These individuals that you see listed here and shown, they're a type of urban terrorists.
There is the Acorn project, for instance, in Oakland, all volunteer and all fed up.
I would have loved to got me a gun and went up to my roof and sniped at these guys, or the violent, get tough with these guys, but sanity stepped in and said, if you do this, you're gonna get your butt blown away, kind of thing. We've had gun battles on my street, guys pulling out Uzis at each other and that, and I figured if something violent's gonna have to happen, I'll leave that to the police department.
Paul Malone is an Oakland mailman, a member of Acorn, a community group with several.
So just imagine you doing all of this, and this one group of individuals is terrorizing everything.
Political agendas, but one of them is ridding the streets of drug dealing.
California, town business, man. Please believe it, nigga. The mecca of the fact, man. The thousands of the motherfucking Black Panthers, biggest gang in the United States. You know what I'm talking about? Also, on the down low, we get ready to Crips, you know what I mean? We have them LA County.
History, real life. M.A. was on that. Wait, though, he also introduced the kids to Belushi and turned the streets on fire.
We want to talk about the town, though, you know what I'm saying? Just another part of the case, you know what I'm saying? We have to get up here because, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no place we at right now, man. These are Acorn, Victoria's Acorn Jets, you know what I'm saying? On anything, they know about these motherfuckers, though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no Crips and no Bloods in Oakland, period. You know what I'm saying? Niggas do what they want, man, but we knock the shit down. You know what I'm saying? I watch individuals grow up, so I'm going to Hollywood right now and be acting like I say. I'm acting good. Niggas call me on a bad day, you know what I'm saying? I got the trinkets on, how niggas be doing this shit. Right there, coming about your shirt, man. It's that water gun, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to start my little sun room. I spray paint that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Spray paint that motherfucker. Nigga don't got nothing less than 30. Let me see that motherfucker in the light, man.
Hey, look, remember what year this is. Nothing less than a 30. You hear him?
We on our way to Cali with it. Oakland to be exact. West Oakland to be more exact. If you want to be more precise, meet us at the old Acorn Project. AP shit. Shout out to everybody in Oakland. Y'all getting the comment box. Y'all already know how we run it. Now, one of the most notorious people to ever come through Oakland, if you're listening to the authorities. Now, we about to try to get into it, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the homie MAC. Shout out to him, Free Mac. But you can't talk about Mac Blast without talking about Acorn Projects and pretty much the Acorn gang. So the Acorn Projects, or Acorn, is a series of housing projects in the Acorn Redevelopment Project area, or the Acorn neighborhood of West Oakland, known as the Corns or the Cornfields. Neighbors to a wide variety of housing projects, is bordered by the high-rise City Towers apartments and a low-rise mobile gang by the name of Ghost Town. I'm not sure if they're associated with any one of those two neighborhoods, but my guys from Oakland, y'all getting the bottom, put me in a note. Now, some people outside of Oakland definitely might know my guy Mac Blast because his name rings, but if you're familiar with the classic DVD series Coast to Coast, where they would go to different neighborhoods, Mac Blast would be one of the main people featured in the Oakland episode, and he would go on detail some of the tales of his life and his many run-ins with death, which includes multiple attempts on his life and shootings. One, June of 2008. That's when authorities would launch Operation Nutcracker after a 3-month investigation. They would go on to arrest more than 40 blasts. Pretty much is going to hit a head in June of 2008. That's when authorities would launch Operation Nutcracker after a 3-month investigation. They would go on to arrest more than 40 people, making Mac Blast almost the target of those. They would go on to arrest more than 40 people, making Mac Blast almost the target of those raids, with the East Bay Times headlining articles: suspected Acorn gang members snarled and raid, ABC 7 gang leader ordered to stand trial. So right off top, the media would go to portray Mark Mac Blast Candler as the alleged leader of the Acorn gang, even though the lieutenant at that time would say that they were one of the most dangerous gangs in Oakland. I read that a lot of the other people had almost minor drug charges, but Mac Blast's charges would be the most serious out of those people caught in those raids. And based on my research, I read somewhere where they say he was charged with upwards of 7 felonies. And the main charges out of those 7 felonies was going to be an attempt murder, which I'm going to get to in a little bit. But with that and the enhancements that they throw on you,
Mac Blast is known for really being on that. That's why he's still down to this day, because of the influence he had on the streets. And we're going to get to what he's doing in current time after this.
I'm going to try to get into that. So it looks like the trial for Mac Blast's attempt murder took place in November of 2008. Now, this is according to the East Bay Times. They're going to say a man allegedly was shot by a reputed leader of Oakland's worst drug gang testified that he had no idea who shot him in an incident at 31st Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Way on June 30th, 2006. He would go on to say, "I didn't see anybody." Under questioning by prosecutor John Bruhart, the victim, who didn't want his name disclosed, denied that he told Oakland Police Sergeant Tony Jones that Mac Blast and his co-defendant Elijah Thomas, who some reference as his cousin, were the people that
damn sure don't want to go on record saying that, and Mac Blast know that you said it.
Those people. He would later go on to add, "They don't look nothing like the people who shot me." Now, that's very, very interesting, because it would be a lot of questions into the raid of Operation Nutcracker. And some people would say that Mac Blast was such a force on these streets and in the streets of Oakland, and definitely in the Acorn Projects area, that he almost got the Larry Hoover treatment or the Jeff Fort treatment, where they're going to do anything they can to pretty much take him off the streets. He would end up
that sentence I read somewhere to 43 years. I'm not sure.
Hey, MA is still down today. Let me know about what y'all think about MA so far. You know what I'm saying? One of the most active people to walk through the streets of Oakland. Point blank. You hear me?
Everybody's too many motherfuckers. Y'all gotta get that out y'all system, man. When niggas say shit, real niggas, I've never smacked a nigga over what he said. Never. You ain't never popped me up there in my niggas like, you know what I'm saying? You talking like, nigga, we get that, I'll beat your ass, whatever. You win or lose, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's what I'm on, nigga. Like, go get something cleaner, go whatever. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. But everybody got caught up, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess because don't nobody say nothing about it. I don't got no rank, you know, ain't nobody say nothing about it, nigga, about the internet. Everybody's too many motherfuckers. Y'all gotta get that out y'all system, man. When niggas say shit, real niggas is factual shit. This shit gotta be the game. Like, I've been gone. You know what I'm saying? So y'all done fuck this shit up. Niggas like, you already know what Huey could do with this shit. George Jackson, Elijah Muhammad, nigga, Malcolm, Marcus, nigga, I'm like, man, let that shit go.
Yeah, he talking about DB.
But you know, guys, man, come on, man. That nigga ain't saying nothing about great African scholars about. So I've been looking out for him. I got receipts, all the type of shit. The nigga been looking up to me, all the type of shit, interviews. So you think about it. Say a nigga.
Hey, that's solid. I ain't gonna lie. I think he's speaking on a certain situation, but this Mac Blast in his current state, he on YouTube making content. That was a couple years ago, I think 2 to be exact. But yeah, with that being said, all money ain't good money, and slow motion damn sure better than no motion. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and bang that subscribe button. Spam up that like button next. If you want to become a member and get access to exclusive hood blogs, tap in, and we're going to keep them trap doors open. Shout out to FOD Pedro for the, the merch. You hear me? Made in Oakland. Be by La Oakland.
Actual street YouTuber that's either in you or it's on you, no in between. Courtroom Global TV.